Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're having fun so far. You're listening to The Ride, and I'm Kara, taking you through your afternoon. Stay with me to listen to more awesome classics right here on The Ride. Mulubinaka, for awesome sounds in the afternoon. Wonderful, wonderful classics. Join me on The Ride every weekday right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits from 2 to 7.
Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's 'cause
this bulletin tonight, emergency environment declaration in Suva lifted in some areas. 30 Fijians have been selected for work in New Zealand under the RSC scheme. And Alsori gets a new legal aid office. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate, and this is FBC News. The emergency environment declaration for parts of Suva has been lifted. The interagency committee monitoring the sewer line disaster based its decision on the results of water quality and fish monitoring tests that have been conducted so far. The public can now fish and swim in the Rewa River mouth area and Nukulau Island, as well as the FDB foreshore area up until My Suva Picnic Park. However, the ban remains on the collection of seashell, shellfish and seaweed. No fishing and no swimming zones remain in the Vatuanga and Cunningham rivers and the coastline from My Suva Park to the Langere River mouth. The area extends seawards to the 500-metre mark from the high water mark. The ban was implemented following a sewage spill in the Cunningham River in Asino in early December. Hundreds of people turned out at Sukuna Park in Suva today to witness the draw of 30 names of people who have qualified to work in New Zealand under the recognised seasonal employer scheme. Work contracts are for 7 months, after which the employers will decide whether they will retain workers or allow them to return to Fiji or employ additional workers. Ellen Stolz has more.
There were 100 applicants' names in the draw, and the first 30 names could be going to New Zealand. Minister for Employment Chochi Konrote commended the hard work of all the applicants.
Our workers have to be scrutinized and assessed through 2 separate selection criteria. The main reason behind our tough selection criteria is the government's commitment to send quality workers who are fit, who are healthy, and with good character to New Zealand.
The minister also reiterated to the 30 that were chosen today that the final selection will be held by the employers. It has taken months of deliberation, hard work and planning for the National Employment Centre to finalise this event. A total of 5,000 applicants initially applied. However, these numbers slowly dwindled down to a couple of hundreds after medical examinations, fitness tests and various other criteria were looked at.
Ministry for Business Innovation and Enterprise, which is the parent body to the Immigration Department, wraps around the scheme an enormous amount of support for workers, which includes some pretty heavy obligations on employers around what we call pastoral care, making sure that the employees get a fair deal, and also that they are treated fairly, and also that they are looked after well while they are in New Zealand.
Amongst the lucky few was this man from Nambalimbali village in Savusavu.
I really know in my heart that the selection today is really selected by the Almighty.
44-year-old Veronica Ratu was overwhelmed to hear her name being called. She is looking forward to travelling abroad to work and support her 5 children.
I would like to thank God for His help for my selection, because even though there were so many people in the draw, I'm glad my name was chosen.
For others like Ilyaisa Ndorasavu, the selection means a lot. And while it's not the first time he's going overseas, he's surely excited to be a part of it all.
I'm very happy, very grateful and thankful to the Almighty for being selected in the 30-member squad.
Employers will be travelling to Fiji soon to select their workers from the 30 people who were chosen today. Those selected will be picking fruits in Hawke's Bay and the Bay of Plenty. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Residents living in Nausori and nearby areas will not have to travel far to seek legal aid assistance. They now have a new legal aid office which has been opened by the Prime Minister. Akosita Tale reports.
This is the 7th legal aid office, and Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says a few more will be opened around the country. The new office in the heart of Nausori town demonstrates the government's commitment to providing the public with adequate access to justice and legal assistance.
I urge all of our lawyers and other staff working with the Commission to adhere to my government's central ethos at all times, to deliver and to serve. You can make a real difference in the lives of ordinary people who rely on you for your expertise. So please, don't let them down.
Funding to the Legal Aid Commission has increased significantly over the years, from $800,000 in 2012 to $2 million in 2013. Last year, it was a record $4.4 million, and the amount remains the same this year. All services are free for people who qualify for legal assistance.
Nausori has a very large population base, and this office, since its establishment, has served and will serve the residents of Nausori who do not have to travel all the way to Suva to seek legal aid assistance. Over the last few years, there has in fact been a steady increase in the number of people applying for legal aid.
Legal Aid Commission now, I would suggest, would be one of the largest law firms. If you want to look at it from a law firm perspective, it has dozens of lawyers now that work for it, dozens of support staff, and obviously they will continue to grow. That can only happen if government provides support.
As part of its expansion plan, the Commission now aims to establish its services in the rural and maritime areas this year. There will be offices in Tavua, Taveuni and Korovo.
We are going to open up in Levuka as well. And these are some of the things that the Commission has in mind. Very soon we are going to open in Tavua. We are going to open up in Taveuni. And then of course Korovo, then Levuka.
An office is expected to be opened in Asinu tomorrow, another one in Avo on Thursday, and Savu-Savu, Kandavu and Rotuma will get their offices in the months to come. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
More than 7,000 customers have registered for the Free Water Program, a government initiative launched 2 weeks ago. Water Authority of Fiji Chief Executive Opeta Ravai says the response has been outstanding. Ravai says registration is ongoing, so there is no major rush. Customers have been reminded to bring their proper documents for registration. This includes a free water usage allowance form, statutory declaration form if unemployed, customer information form, tin letter or FMPF Thurka joint card, and the latest pay slip. Coming up after the break, separate fires leave 14 people homeless.
बॉलीवुड हीरो पंती रे Get this.
हीरो 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 सपना दिखेला बंद करो।
क्या करूं यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं।
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग में हूँ अश्निल सिंह।
हाय मैं हूँ काजल।
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Yoni borong tu mai na Radio Fiji 1 to toka tunan raki na ngona ni ko ni takini yoni nando ba tu mai nanda ngona go me ga ben na ruwa na ngo bin karabi na singale ni ko ni sangula binaka oya wana kamana langi na makia na bi mataka mai na diwa ki na ruwa na bi singale bo mai na moni tikina borong buka na Radio Fiji 1 nando mai biti bonga ni bi ni adu.
You're back, and this is FBC News. Papua New Guinea says it will pay the remaining 25 million kina to the Fijian government soon to complete its pledge to help the elections last year. The PNG government had pledged 50 million kina for the elections and had only paid half before the elections. The Post-Courier reports the second installment was to be paid after elections. PNG's Foreign Affairs Minister Rimbik Pato says the remaining funds are now ready to be dispersed. Pato has reaffirmed that PNG would continue to support Fiji in implementing its parliamentary reforms. He also expressed his appreciation of PNG and Fiji entering into a new level of diplomatic relations through Fiji's concrete, visible and bold presence in the Pacific. Two separate fires have left 14 people homeless tonight. In the first incident, a fire at Jitu Estate in Suva destroyed 3 lean-to homes at around 11:30 this morning. The National Fire Authority was able to save part of one flat. However, the other 2 were completely burnt. 10 people, comprising of 3 extended families, were living on the property. The cause of the fire is unknown. In the second house fire today, this lean-to home in the Neva Road, Nasinu, was destroyed at around 7 a.m. today. The fire started after the family had left home. They received a call that their house was on fire and rushed back home. However, by then, the structure was on fire. Police are investigating both incidents. No one was injured in either incident. Doctors and lawyers are some of the worst offenders when it comes to paying taxes. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority confirms there are certain sectors which are notorious for trying to dodge the taxman. Edwin Nund has more.
The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority has for the first time revealed that doctors and lawyers often try to evade taxes.
Some of these sectors, I must say, they know the law, but they still doing the wrong things intentionally.
Lawyers are found to be breaching tax laws in relation to the handling of trust accounts. Fiji Law Society President Peter Knight says FIRCA should contact the society to see how it can help the tax administrators with this issue. Chitoko Tikulevu says they need to address this in order to plug leakages which result in revenue loss.
The stakeholders has always been complaining about our consistency. We take that on board. I.e., consistency, they go to talk with the same interpretation. It's also our frontline people. The message that our managers convey to stakeholders is the same with the messages that are conveyed to stakeholders or taxpayers by our frontline people. That's our ongoing challenge for us.
Tikulevu hopes a simplified version of tax laws will also make things easier, especially when it comes to government departments filing their tax returns.
We train the accountants in the Ministry of, in all ministries. And yet, returns are still being filled wrongly. That's the thing, because we conduct training, many trainings here in the West, to train the government accountants how to fill the returns. And it's if I can use the word, shocking too, to see that things are still being filled wrongly. That's why there's still a liability in most of the years by government departments.
The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority has forecast $2.4 billion in revenue collection in 2015. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
The trial proper of the 6 men involved in an alleged bank robbery just over 2 years ago will begin on Thursday. Devita Sungu, Kunal Prasad, Solomon Ingurai, Chosai Usumaki, Epeli Ngaraningio, and Deshwar Dutt are charged in relation to a robbery at the Samambula Suva Branch Bank of the South Pacific in 2012. They are charged with aggravated robbery and receiving stolen property, namely sharing the $70,000 that was alleged to have been stolen in the heist. Their charges were read in the Suva High Court today, and the men denied all allegations laid against them. A 3-week trial period has been set before Judge Justice Salesi Temo. The Foundation for the Education of Needy Children in Fiji has established 3 learning centres around the country, and the organisation says it is well on its way to achieving its strategic objective of supporting the education of needy children to lift them out of poverty. Sakius Naivo reports.
The annual report of FANC has highlighted the achievements of the past year. Assisting needy children in the area of education has been one of the biggest achievements.
We help the poorest of the poor, children of the poorest of the poor families in Fiji. And whilst we were able to take them to school through the scholarships that we offer, from the donations and the good hearts of people who donate to us. When these children come home in the evening, a lot of them do to environments which are not necessarily conducive to doing homeworks and for the studies. So what we have done is we piloted this in 2013, and the results were very encouraging. So we established 3 learning centers around the country, and the fourth one is here in this office.
Queenie Koro says support for the learning centers in Suva, Lambasa and Nandi has been positive.
Able to help them by bringing in volunteers, USP students, some overseas volunteers, and some of our own staff who can go and help these children in remedial work, doing homework, and helping them in subjects that they may be struggling with for whatever reasons in their school.
One of the Foundation for the Education of Needy Children in Fiji strategic objectives is to build more learning centers in different divisions this year. Sekou Sanaibua, FBC News.
Sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Jackie, and good evening in sports tonight. Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan confident of a good outing this weekend, and TFL Fijiana aim for consistency as they prepare to leave for Brazil. This and more after the break.
घर संसार में आपका स्वागत है। आपका अपना छोटा सा स्वर्ग, जहाँ प्यार भरे रिश्ते पलते हैं, जहाँ हेल्थी रहने की सलाह दी जाती है, जहाँ हम आपको और भी सुंदर बनाते हैं और जहाँ स्वाद की सौगात भी है। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। सोमवार से शुक्रवार 9 से 12 तक रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर घर संसार में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
ऐसा सुंदर सपना अपना।
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker.
Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team departed the country today for the Wellington Sevens, and even though Australia has been Fiji's Achilles heel in the last 2 tournaments of the series, coach Ben Ryan is actually looking forward to see his side take on the Aussies in pool play. Could he have some tricks up his sleeve? I guess we'll have to wait until the weekend to find out, but here's Josephine Navula with a glimpse of what to expect.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens side has not won the Wellington tournament since 2010, which can be classed as a mini drought for the side. The boys have prepared themselves well, and now it's time for them to put it into action to win their 4th ever title on New Zealand soil.
I'm expecting a strong performance over the next 2 tournaments. Got some good pace and power now. A difficult group, but really looking forward to playing Australia on Friday night in Wellington. And I know the boys are going to put in a good performance this weekend, so can't wait for all the support from home as well.
Ryan adds the players are in the best shape and he does not have to worry about the fitness levels.
At this time of the year, you don't make too many fitness gains, you just make sure that their fitness is at a good standard. It's been good all year. That's not been the reason for any drops in performance. It's just been that 1 or 2 small things and lacks of concentration that we just need to make sure that we're on top of our game in Wellington.
The players were not allowed to speak to the media as they departed today. Whether this is a tactical ploy or the mind games, it will be known upon kick-off on Friday. Fiji is pooled with Australia, Portugal and Wales in the Wellington Sevens. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the TFL Fijiana will depart tomorrow for its Brazil leg of the Women's World Series. The side finished on 6th position after the first leg in Dubai and wants to improve from this in their second tournament. Rohit Deo with more.
With 7 changes to the side that took part in Dubai, the going won't get any easier for these players come Brazil. The coach, who has been with the team for some time now, knows they need to keep getting better and they cannot afford to put their feet off the pedal.
It's the first time we've gone on the World Series, and the first time for these girls to do the travel and playing each month at the stage and playing against the best. If we can be consistent as a team and get the consistent result, I'll be happy to do that. But as you say, we just keep working hard and smart, and just hope for the best.
Making her debut for the side will be New Zealand-based Racheli Uluinayau. She has assured the nation that she will be at her best when she takes the field in Brazil.
Just going out there and giving it my best shot and giving it all I got. So yeah, I'm just really happy and proud to go out there and give it my best shot.
Fiji has been pooled with Brazil, China and Australia in Pool B. The team takes on China in their first match on Sunday, with the tournament finishing with the finals on Monday. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Eastern Division has won this year's Fiji Billiard and Snooker Association's annual East vs West Challenge. The East team won the challenge by 9-3 at the Nausori Club yesterday. West had won the title last year after East had a hold-on hit for the previous 7 years. The hosts are happy to reclaim the first title of the year.
West, they brought a very strong team. All the Super Premier and Premier players, all are there. But we have trained hard for our players in the Southern. And we have got number 3, number 4 and number 2 all in Southern. So.
Meanwhile, the association had its annual general meeting yesterday where all its executive members were re-elected for another year. In the Galaxy Premier League yesterday, Ba hammered Rewa 4-1 and in the process made it 3 wins from as many games this season. The men in black, who won the Pillay Garments champion versus champion, made a grand start to the league campaign, taking the young Rewa outfit to the cleaners.
Where's it back to Abhineswamy? Abhines turns and drives, and Abhineswamy and it through for Narendra. Rao turns and Narendra has put Ba up by 2-0. As they signal, Vesakula turns and drives and slams it in and puts Ba up by 3-0. Way into the box, Lysania look for it. Penyamendra went, slips through, and so Lawanga. And the 37th minute of play has made it 4-0. Minutes 38. And he places it. Epelidondro did go the right way.
Meanwhile, Nandi leads the Galaxy Premier League points table after round 2. The side is tied on 4th with Lambasa, but has a better goal difference. Ba's big win sees them 3rd on the table, while Lautoka is rooted at the bottom. This weekend, there will be a full round of matches played, with Lautoka and Ba clashing on Friday in what might be the biggest match of the round. Also, the Subo Lambasa game on Sunday should draw a big interest as well. Lambasa will be playing 2 matches as the Lions also face Taile Vunaita Siri on Friday in Nausori. Arsenal moved above Tottenham to 5th in the English Premier League football competition, courtesy of an emphatic 5-0 victory over struggling Aston Villa. It is the first time Arsenal have hit 5 goals in a match this season and completes a hat-trick of successive league victories for the side. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Mango Cafe, located in Nasese Suva, has launched its new Fijian cuisine-focused menu. Supported and encouraged by award-winning chef Robert Oliver, the new menu boasts of local healthy food. Eleanor Tarangai View reports.
Roro bakalolo, fried fish, kokonda, battered kai and prawns, eaten with local ndalo and cassava, along with seasonal fruits and vegetable. Mango Cafe is going local.
Going back to basics and to the kind of heart of Fijian cuisine, that will reverberate in the community because the people share with food and they build relationships and community with food.
The new menu, according to the 2-time Gourmand Award winner, has healthy and fresh all over it, something that should be promoted at the national level.
The older cuisines are based on whole foods. There's no processed food and there's not thousands of chemicals and kind of very contrived gastronomy in that space. It's honest food that's a result of a good environment and a fine culture.
As such, Mango Cafe will not be serving fizzy drinks and alcohol anymore. It's supporting only fresh produce now.
We've got panikeke, waidala, panikeke, kinikiri. So all of these old home favorites, and they're very cost effective. They're like only $4 each. So we started that, and we've actually been selling out on the Lolo buns by even 11 o'clock.
The new menu comes out today. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
Generally, fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country. Lambasa received 22 millimeters of rain up until 9 a.m. today. Brief showers are expected this evening. Tropical cyclone Ola was located western New Caledonia at 3 p.m. today. On its current track, it is not expected to affect Fiji. Meanwhile, an active trough of low pressure continues to affect the Solomons, Tuvalu, Tokelau, Samoa and southern Cooks. Maximum temperatures were in the 30s at all centres today. Lambasa had the highest at 35 degrees, followed by Ba and Nadi at 34. Forecast midnight tomorrow, fine, apart from a few brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, afternoon or evening showers. Isolated afternoon or evening thunderstorms are likely. Rain and thunderstorms developing over Vanua Levo and gradually spreading over the rest of the group on Wednesday. And recapping our main stories, the Emergency Environment Declaration for parts of Suva has been lifted. 30 people have qualified to work in New Zealand under the Recognised Seasonal Employer Scheme. And Papua New Guinea says it will pay the remaining 25 million kina to the Fijian government soon to complete its pledge to help the elections last year. Results from last week's poll question, 68% support the requirements of the Seasonal Workers Scheme. This week, in light of the recent drowning of an under-17 player, we ask, should managers travel with Fiji soccer teams on overseas trips? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for today. Join me again tomorrow evening. Bye for now.
FM number 2 na sir na hona nin remanda kay Central Rental Support ka na rusun ko dito minichi me ba na koloko ni sabula
oya wa tisoni dalai
gonga mo zidon
na magikirao mena tolu kina bitu ena via kabi moliti kina porombuka
goria na lali ne kabi Bula FM number 2 na sir